Hello guys, this is your servant sir who taught you time and tense and you gave a very nice response. Many requests came. Sir, first of all, introduce yourself, who you are. Those who are knowing, they are knowing, but those who are not knowing, they want to know. I am Shravan Kumar, who has done post graduation or MA in English from Patna University. I have been teaching in Patna for last 27 years in Boring Road. In front of Hen College, there is a lane named Vivekanand Marg, where there is a coaching English study point 1/30 Vivekanand Marg. Those who are living and those who are related to study, almost all the students and guardians know me. But you are living in village, you are living in city, different city, or maybe that you are not knowing. That is why those students who went through the video, they wanted to know about me. And I have been giving the service, as I told you, for last 27 years. And on your request only, I have decided to teach a spoken English, to give some tips, and I am sure this will help you, or you will tell by your message and the reply that how you liked it. So now let us start a spoken English, and the method which I will tell you will definitely help you to learn different kinds of things, such as how to speak, how to write, and how to translate into English, as well as to solve all type of grammatical problems which you feel while appearing at different type of competitive exams. You will see, I will give you those tips which will be very much helpful. So now let us start. What is language? We shall reply in such way that language is means of communication of ideas. Language is means of communication of ideas. भाषा विचार का आदान प्रदान का माध्यम है. It is of two kinds, a spoken and written. In a spoken, what comes? A speech comes, debate comes, dialogue comes, and in written, essay, letter, biography, autobiography, drama, or many more, they all come under written. So now let us start. Sir, how shall we speak? What are the things necessary for this? And first of all, let us try to know how to raise questions, because generally it is seen that we know how to reply, or we reply also, we answer also, but most of us don't know how to raise question. And once you will learn how to raise question, more and more questions, you will also feel comfortable in answering those questions. So first of all, I will make you understand how to raise questions. And question is of how many types? Two types. WH question and yes no question. WH question is that question which answer is given in a complete sentence. And such question is started with a WH question such as who, what, when, where, how much, how long, how many, etc. And what is yes no question? And yes no questions are those which are started with 24 auxiliary verbs. And those auxiliary verbs are is, am, are, was, were, do, does, did, has, have, had, can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, must, ought to, used to, need, and dare. If these auxiliary verbs are put before subject, such questions are answered in yes or no. But if questions are started with WH like who, what, where, when, then such questions answer is given in a complete sentence. Suppose if somebody asks you, what is your name? Will you reply yes or no? No. You will have to reply in a complete sentence. What is your name? Then you will say, sir, my name is so and so. But if questions are started with auxiliary verbs, which I have already told, is, am, are, was, were, and such questions answer is given either in yes or no. As are you going to college? If you are going, you will say yes. If you are not going, you will say no. But in order to know these things, we shall have to know about the usage of WH question. Like what is the use of who, what, when, where, how much, how long, how many. We shall have to know, we shall have to be familiar with all these things. And the moment you will be familiar with all these things, you will be able to speak very nice English, very correct English. And you will also be able to write very nice English, very correct English, and you will also feel comfortable how to translate into English. So now, let us know. And after that, I shall make you understand a step by step. Now, let us see. Let us start. What is language? Language is means of communication of ideas. It is of two kinds. First, a spoken, and second, a written. Language is means of communication of ideas. It is of two kinds, a spoken and second, written. In a spoken, what comes, as I told, comes a speech, dialogue, debate, sermon, upadesh. And what comes in written? In written comes what? Biography, autobiography, a story, essay, drama, these all biography, autobiography, a story, essay, drama, they all come under novel, etc. They all come under written English. And as I told you, in order to understand all these things, what shall we have to know? We shall have to know how to raise questions. And I told you how many types of question? There are two types of question. WH question and yes no question. So now let us know about how to raise questions. How to raise question. It is of two kinds. WH question and second yes no question. WH question is that which answer is given in a complete sentence. As I told you that what is WH question? WH question is that which answer is given in a complete sentence, and such question begins with WH question words such as who, what, whom, whose, when, where, how much, how many, how far, how long, which, why, etc. Semicolon as what is your name? And answer must be given in a complete sentence. My name is Santosh. Suppose. So, WH question is that which answer is given in a complete sentence, and such question begins with WH question words such as who, what, whom, whose, when, where, how much, how many, how far, how long, which, why, etc. Or as I have cited the example, it is very much clear from the example. What is your name? and how it has been answered? My name is Santosh. So, if any question begins with WH question word, such questions must be answered in a complete sentence. If you adopt all these things, you will feel very comfortable. I am assuring you na, you will feel very much comfortable, and you will automatically start speaking English. Okay, just I am making you understand in such a way. Just listen. Now, yes no question. Yes no question is that which answer is given either in yes or no, and such questions begin with 24 auxiliary verbs such as is, am, are, was, were, do, does, did, has, have, had, can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, must, ought to, used to, need, dare. These are means yes no question. What is yes no question? Yes no question is that yes no question is that which answer is given either in yes or no, and such questions begin with 24 auxiliary verbs such as is, am, are, was, were, do, does, did, has, have, had, can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, must, ought to, used to, need, and dare. If any question begins with all these, such answer is given either in yes or no. For example, are you going to college? If you are going, then you will say, what will be the answer? Yes. If it is saying, aren't you fine? If you aren't fine, you will say no. So, such questions answer in such a way. Are you going to college? If you are going, you will say yes. Aren't you fine? If you are not fine, you will say no. Is it okay? Did you understand in a nice manner? Now let us proceed. I will make you understand about WH question word. What is the usage of, what are the usage of who, what, when, where, and how they are applied in language. I will make you understand a step by a step, and then you will say, sir, we start feeling very much comfortable. You will tell. Now let us see. But before starting this, I would like to tell you one thing, and that is that language doesn't follow grammar. Grammar follows language. Why? Because first of all, language was made. What is the story of English? The story of English is that, what is the history of English? I would like to tell you that this English was brought to Britain by a Germanic tribe, Anglo-Saxon. And what was the year? It was AD 449. So for your kind information, that English was brought to Britain. That very time it was not England. That is why I am not using the word England. It was brought to Britain by a Germanic tribe called Anglo-Saxons. And what was the year? It was AD 449. They were Germanic tribe. And they were warlike tribe. They were warlike tribe. And they invaded Britain in AD 449 and gave, also named the country England, and gave the language English. For your kind information. So, but when grammar came, as I told you that grammar doesn't follow language. Okay, as I told you, language doesn't follow grammar. Grammar follows language. This is the reason why, because grammar came into existence in 18th century. In 18th century, but language came in AD 449. So, this fact and this logic is enough to make you understand that language doesn't follow grammar, rather grammar follows language. So first of all, we must know language, and if we are knowing language, after that grammar will automatically come. So first of all, we must know language. That is why I also told this in seminar class in Patna University, and our all those stalwart teachers, really the great teachers, you can say, great scholar, great erudite, and they all were agreed with me. And that is why I always suggest to my students, to those who come to me, that they should learn language first, and if they have learnt language, they will also learn grammar. Through grammar, no only that if anybody goes to someone and the person is asked, do you know parts of a speech? If a person is knowing parts of a speech, will he start speaking English? No. By knowing parts of a speech will not make anyone speak English. My experience says. I am saying on the basis of my experience. A person must be told, the person who has come must be told about the structure, about the usage of those things which are necessary in helping us speak English. That is why I also told you a story of English. I am not going to tell you in detail, but simply I told you that when English came and by who and who brought it. So you have also known the father of English, Anglo-Saxon is called the father of English, and who is called the father of modern English? Geoffrey Chaucer. Geoffrey Chaucer is called the father of modern English, for your kind information. So now let us know the usage of who, WH question. But first of all, as I told you, this note you must write in a note. Language doesn't follow grammar, rather grammar follows language. Language doesn't follow grammar, rather grammar follows language. Then what is grammar? What is grammar? Then what shall we say? Grammar is the discipline of language. Grammar is the discipline of language. And one more definition. This very definition is given by me. Grammar is the discipline of language. Another definition, grammar is the basis of language. The framework on which ideas are hung, on which ideas are hung, and even the loftiest of thought can fall flat if ungrammatically expressed. Grammar is the basis of language, the framework on which ideas are hung, and even the loftiest of thought can fall flat if ungrammatically expressed. What does it show? ग्रामर भाषा का आधार है, ऐसा ढांचा है, फ्रेमवर्क मतलब ढांचा, जिस पर विचार टंगे होते हैं, टिके होते हैं, और सर्वश्रेष्ठ विचार भी, लॉफ्टी मतलब श्रेष्ठ, लॉफ्टी सुपरलेटिव डिग्री, सर्वश्रेष्ठ विचार भी बेअसर हो सकता है। फॉल फ्लैट मतलब बेअसर हो जाना। यदि बिना ग्रामर के व्यक्त किया जाए तो सर्वश्रेष्ठ विचार भी बेअसर हो सकता है। एंड दिस शोज ग्रामर इज द डिसिप्लिन ऑफ लैंग्वेज, सो यू मस्ट नो दिस। इज इट ओके? नाउ लेट अस प्रोसीड। As I told you that first of all I will make you understand the usage of WH question word. And now let us start. First of all, WH question. it comes who. What is the meaning of who? Most of the people know कि sir who means कौन. You also know. You also know that who means कौन. But not only कौन, also it has more meanings which you must know. Who means जो. Who means किसे. Who means किसने. Now you will ask me, sir, where shall we use? Where, what, okay, when it will have the meaning कौन, when it will have the meaning जो, when it will have the meaning किसे और किसने. You must have the curiosity to know, the curiosity to know. You must have the inquisition to know. And for that, I am going to make you understand through formula which will help you a lot. And now let us see. If who is followed by auxiliary verb, I have already told you about auxiliary verb. Is, am, are, was, were, do, that 24. I have already taught. And if who is followed by auxiliary verb, what it will be the meaning? The meaning will be कौन. And now let us have an example. Who are you? Then what will the meaning? तुम कौन हो. तुम कौन हो. This will be the meaning. If okay, it is who is going, then what shall we say? कौन जा रहा है. But understand, if who is preceded by noun and pronoun, अगर who के पहले, precede माने पहले, follow means बाद में. If who is preceded by noun and pronoun, then what will the meaning? जो. Remember, if who is preceded by noun and pronoun, then what will the meaning? जो. For example, Ram, who was the son of Dasarath, killed Ravan. Ram, who was the son of Dasarath, killed Ravan. How shall we take out the meaning? Ram, because who is preceded by Ram, Ram is noun. राम जो दशरथ के पुत्र थे उन्होंने रावण को मारा. And if a person is not knowing that who is also having the meaning जो, only he is knowing the who means कौन, then how will he take the meaning or how he has been taking the meaning? Only he will say कि राम कौन दशरथ के पुत्र थे जो रावण को मारे. वह इस प्रकार से बोलेगा जो बकवास है. That is rubbish. He doesn't understand anything. And that is why I thought of making you understand about all these things. You know a lot, but how to know what is needed to know, I want you to know, and I want to make you know. Let us see. Then how shall we say? राम जो दशरथ के पुत्र थे उन्होंने रावण को मारा. Let us have another example. He who is standing at the door is my chum. Chum means लंगोटिया यार, बचपन का दोस्त को चम कहते हैं। वह जो दरवाजे पर खड़ा है वह मेरा लंगोटिया यार है, बचपन का साथी है। तो यहां पर क्या ले, वह जो दरवाजे पर खड़ा है वह मेरा बचपन का साथी है, लंगोटिया यार है। तो इस एग्जाम्पल से आपने क्या देखा कि यहाँ हु का व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ हु, जो, हियर हु मीन्स जो, बिकॉज दीज हु आर फॉलोड बाय नाउन एंड प्रोनाउन। तो हु के पहले जब नाउन या प्रोनाउन आ जाता है तो उसका अर्थ क्या होता है, जो। नाउ लेट अस सी, क्या बच गया, किसे और किसने। If who is followed by has or had and followed by infinitive, then what will be the meaning, किसे। For example, who has to go, then what shall we say, किसे जाना है। Who had to write, किसे लिखना पड़ा। Let us see, who has to go, किसे जाना है, who had to write, किसे लिखना पड़ा। So what is the meaning, किसे, such who gives the meaning किसे, because we live in India. So first of all, we think in our own language. Nobody can deny. We think in our own language, mother tongue, and in mother language, and after that, we try to express in that language which we are learning or which we have learned. After that, we will become expert. So that is why I am taking help, I am making you understand in both the languages, so that you must be expert and you must not have any confusion. And now let us have, if who is followed by V2, verb का दूसरा, then it will have meaning कौन और किसने, both, कौन और किसने, both it will have. For example, who said, then what will be the meaning, कौन कहा या किसने कहा। The meaning can be taken in either way, कौन कहा और किसने कहा। So now you have learned the usage of who, and not only that, I want to tell you one thing more. See, when who has the meaning जो, then what shall we say in English, it is a relative pronoun, it is a relative pronoun, and relative pronouns अगर देखा जाए मुख्य रूप से How many? 3. Who, that, which. And they all are having the meaning जो, provided that, बशर्ते कि इन दे आर प्रीसीडेड बाय नाउन एंड प्रोनाउन. ये तभी होगा जब इनके पहले क्या हो, नाउन या प्रोनाउन हो. अगर हु के पहले नाउन या प्रोनाउन हो तो इसका मतलब जो, दैट के पहले नाउन या प्रोनाउन हो तो जो, विच के पहले नाउन या प्रोनाउन हो तो जो. यू मस्ट रिमेंबर. बट यू विल आस्क सर हाउ सर, ओके वेयर शैल बी यूज देम. सब का मतलब तो जो है, दे आर हैविंग द मीनिंग जो, व्हेन दे आर प्रीसीडेड बाय नाउन एंड प्रोनाउन. बट हाउ शैल बी यूज, वेयर आर दे यूज्ड? या हाँ, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड. हु आदि नाउन या प्रोनाउन अगर ह्यूमन बीइंग है, ह्यूमन बीइंग के लिए, मानव के लिए हु, एनिमल के लिए दैट, और बीच का प्रयोग नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स के लिए. नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स के लिए यदि नाउन और प्रोनाउन अगर निर्जीव है तो विच, अगर एनिमल है तो दैट, और अगर ह्यूमन बीइंग है, मानव है तो हु. और इन केस ऑफ कंफ्यूजन, इफ यू गेट कंफ्यूज्ड कि वेदर द थिंग इज ह्यूमन बीइंग और एनिमल और नॉन लिविंग थिंग, इन दैट स्टेट you must know that is applied. In case of confusion, if you get confused at that very time, what should you do? You should apply that, and if you are applying that, okay, you are speaking right, because in case of confusion that is applied. So let us have example. I have already cited the example about who, and now let us have the example of that. Ram, who was the son of Dasharatha, I have already given the example. But if it is said that Ram which was the son of Dasharatha, is it correct? No, this is incorrect, absolutely wrong. Because which is used for non-living things, that is used for animal. So what shall we say? Ki the dog that is wagging its tail is mine. वह कुत्ता जो अपनी पूंछ हिला रहा है वह मेरा है. The dog that is wagging, wag means हिलाना, wagging its tail is mine. The pen which is in my hand is very costly. Is very costly. See, in case of pen which, in case of dog that, or as I cited the example, Ram who was the son of Dasarath, I already cited the example. So in case of human being, who is used, in case of animal that is used, and in case of non-living things, okay, which is used. Generally such questions are given in competition. You will find, and there you will be very comfortable in solving all these things. So now I am going to stop here only, so that you will understand all these things in next class. Okay, as you have liked, accordingly I will proceed. Thank you very much.